guess the first news kind of happened today was the passing of a legend.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, passed away today, 93 years young.
Dang. He was the voice of Darth Vader. He was in
Mufasa.
Field of Dreams. He was
So
Mufasa.
name your favorite movie of his, not Star Wars.
Oh, easy, Field of Dreams.
I probably Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Sandlot for me.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
He's only in it for a little bit though.
Exactly. Yeah. One of my favorite things, and every time I think of him, I see this in my mind, is when he's talking about Babe Ruth, and he just does this.
Calls him Henry, right? Or
yeah, and then he does this little thing with his head. He's like, and he just shakes his head really quickly, and he has a big smile on his face. And every time I think of James Earl Jones, I see that image in my mind. Such a great actor and such a distinguished, recognizable, iconic voice.
The voice, like just an unbelievable voice. His list of movies is just goes on and on. Coming to America, like that's another great one he was in.
He was in a lot of the Jack Ryan movies with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he played the president. Patriot Game he was in, right?
Yeah. Patriot Game. What was the other one? Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah, he was always like the president or the head of the CIA or something like that in those. Yeah. Oh, he's a great actor, great voice. It's really sad. Especially with like the new Mufasa movie coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hopefully more Star Wars at some point. I guess they'll just cut
his voice. I don't know. Use AI to take everything that he's ever said in life and just use AI to keep voicing Vader for eternity?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is someone going to get paid by that? Is his family going to get paid?
I have no idea how those contracts work.
Because he did the last time he voiced
Look at this
Vader.
Guy.
Nice, right? I pay for this.
Voice Vader was for Rogue One. And you could hear when he was talking to I forgot what the character's name was, but the voice didn't sound quite right. They had to dub his voice and put more bass in it because he lost a lot of the bass in his voice as he got older.
Well,
so yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, let the bodies hit the floor. Our segment for when a legend unfortunately hits the floor. And,
it's in no way derogatory. We do it out of love. We do it out of
giant
love.
Legend.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Seb brought this to my attention yesterday. They have greenlit a sequel, it seems, to the Goonies, which you did not seem excited about.
Yeah, I think it's called The Curse of One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah,
it's on the screen.
That's what I saw.
On this show that we didn't do years ago that doesn't exist, we had a segment once where we came up with it was like a name we would write or pitch a prequel or a sequel, and then I pitched a prequel to the Goonies, where you see it's just a pirate movie, and then at the end, the pirates get trapped in the cave, blah, 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 and then you find out that it's One-Eyed Willie, and then it's a prequel to like the Goonies. And I like you guys were like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. But I would love to see something like that, like a prequel, show how One-Eyed Willie stole and when he was a pirate and everything. But I think it's going to be about the main characters 40 years later with their kids in Astoria and how their lives have.
A curse from the treasure, right? Like that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I downloaded this movie years ago. Wrong movie, different, totally different.
Yeah.
Whoo.
Yeah.
That was on
How many listeners did we lose now?
Well, we gained 2. We just gained 2 listeners. Back in the old day, on that old podcast, there would be a cricket sound. But, oh well.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I just showed my kids this movie, and the original. Alana absolutely loved it. She loves that they curse in it. It makes her think that she can curse.
Yeah.
I showed it to mine, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and it scared the hell out of them at first. And then we came to it again a couple of years later.
Really?
Yeah, because like they murder people. The Fratellis murder people, and the Fratellis are super scary.
Oh, yeah, that's
movie.
true. Yeah.
And Sloth is like, at the beginning, you think he's a monster, right?
He's
a monster.
Yeah. But
so many young actors who became big stars and Oscar winners.
Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, and
right?
then
he was in
Data.
this, right? Sean Astin.
Yeah,
Data just won an Oscar, right?
He just won an Oscar last year.
Like Star Trek Data?
No. The Data, the character. The little Asian kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name was Data, and he won for
Mr. Jones, that kid?
Yeah, Short Round.
Yeah. There you go. I only know him as Short Round.
What was the one he did?
It was like a time travel or like a multiverse movie or something, right?
No, it was a Korean film, right? That won Best Picture.
Yeah, it had to deal with like the multiverse.
I didn't see it, so
it had to deal with something like that. Yeah,
but yeah, I'm excited about it. I would love to see the Goonies again. I'm probably gonna end up hating it, but
yeah,
Well,
hopefully, I think Spielberg's involved again.
He produced the first one.
He wrote and produced it. I thought he directed it, but I was wrong about that.
Sorry.
But he did write and produce it.
I thought the first one was written by Christopher Columbus. But whatever. I would like this. There's 0 chance they're going to get it right, or 1% chance they're going to get it right. But on that 1% chance, I'm holding out hope. Because everything they bring back, they're so terrible.
Did you ever see the alternate versions of the movie, or like when it was on Channel 11? There's versions of the movie where in the beginning, Andy, the jock, like runs into Mouth and Samwise Gamgee in like a supermarket or like a deli, and he shoves Chunk into like an ice cream freezer, and then in that same version, when they get to the pirate ship, a giant octopus attacks them.
I would assume I've seen all of those, like, because everything I watched was like a Channel 11 whatever it was, WPIX when we were kids. Yeah, like I actually I couldn't figure out why I saw so many more movies as a kid than my kids. Because every Saturday, like if you were home on a rainy Saturday, you get like Predator, Goonies, and like
Rambo.
Top Gun all on a Saturday, right? Yeah. Back to back to back, all TV edited, so no one cared if you were watching it.
Yeah, right? Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I saw all of those movies edited as a kid, and I think not having that, you just don't like it. It has to be an appointment now to I'm going to put this on so you can watch it. Yeah. Whereas then it's like whatever was on 11, it's halfway through Die Hard, great, and I would just watch it again. And I think that you lose something that way. I saw a lot of movies that way as a kid. I'm sure I saw Goonies that way, all edited up, and not even didn't know.
I listened to a guy named Shadiversity, another podcaster, and he got fed up with his kid being on YouTube and watching nonsense all day long. So he took YouTube off TV and just gave his kids a box of VHS tapes and said, you can watch any of these as much as you want. And that's how they got into like Batman 89 and Ghostbusters and, Indiana Jones and the kids. And it wasn't just VHSs. It was like DVDs and Blu-rays, but it was all like approved by him. And he's like, watch as much as this as you want. He gave him like 40, 50 different things and said, go nuts. And, they sit down and watch it, have family time now. And he
cool.
Got them off YouTube. Yeah. My kids are just glued to YouTube.
I made a list of the 200 films. Myself and my wife sat down and did a list 200 films that we thought our kids should see. And we've been slowly over the years knocking them all out. I can't think of one that my kids weren't like, that was really good. I'm glad we watched it. They loved them all because that stuff was so good. And some of it is so iconic and transcends so well. But you have to search it out.
Yeah.
Or
it's hard for my son to be open-minded to watching something new, especially something that I pick. But a few weeks ago, I sat him down and I got him to watch Twister.
Oh, nice.
He loved it. He loved it so much. He wanted to go see Twisters in the theaters. And then last night I got him to watch Beetlejuice. I've tried like 4 times to get him to watch Beetlejuice, and finally last night he watched it. He loved it. He thought it was hilarious. He wants to be one of the football players for Halloween. So
you know what it is too? Like I was away with my kids last week, 2 weeks ago when we were camping, and I was trying to fit all the crap back into the car. And like in exasperation, I said, "Oh, we're going to need a bigger boat, right? A line from Jaws." And then my youngest one came to me last week and he's like, I was talking to one of my friends and like her dad always quotes movies too. And he's all quote the same movies. And me and my friends don't have that because they don't have like common experience that they've all seen. Like I'll quote 30 movies during the course of a week. You know what I mean? And like, she's like, "Oh, my dad does that too." I'm like, because we all saw the same movies and shared the same experiences. Yeah. They don't have that because they all watch disparate YouTube channels and different things on Insta. Like none of them watch the same stuff.
They have their own version of that though. Like my kids come home saying "skibbity toilet." Riz,
but it's pop culture nonsense that's not going to last.
Yeah,
right. Like
it'll last. It'll last for them.
It'll last for them. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll last for them. My kids will remember.
You think when they're 30, they're going to say like "skibbity toilet"? They'll say
it as they're joking around because that's how they say it now. They say it now as a joke. It doesn't mean anything.
Every time I pick up a bat, do you think every time when you were a kid, like after you saw Ninja Turtles for the first time or whatever, every time you walked,
Jose Canseco bat.
Exactly. You paid money for this. Every time I see a bat next to Joe Tambini, I say this. And then he just like, then he hits me. But like nobody ever thought that was going to be a thing. But to idiots like me and Joe, it is a thing.
Yeah, and like when I hear someone else reference something, like I immediately know, like I have something I can connect with that person with, right? Like we share a common interest because we both reference Seinfeld or we both reference The Simpsons. You know what I mean? I was at a concert recently. And it was a song I didn't know, and I did the get to the like for Homer Simpson when he sees the Who, he's like get to the whatever part.
Yeah.
And I did that, and so like the guy next to me was like, "The Simpsons." I'm like, "Yeah," and like I don't see my kids doing that, and I have high schoolers, and like I don't see them having that common connection with their friends. They all sit and just stare at phones.
My son is a huge Ghostbusters fan, so every time he hears the word Jello, he goes, "There's always room for Jello," and then like his cousins like look at him like he's an idiot, and I'm like, "Yeah, you get it."
Yeah, but again, Ghostbusters, like that's another one. Like I this summer found myself saying, when someone asks you if you're a god, right, the answer is always yes. Like you just are you the gatekeeper? Like I don't know. I miss having those common things, and I don't know what it's going to do to the next generation. They don't have the stuff they love, and like when I introduce my kids, they then get the references and they try to make them with their friends. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you talking about? So you mentioned Beetlejuice. Did either of you see it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm going to see it on Friday
soon. Yeah,
it made all the monies. It made $110 million in the US. It's opening weekend.
Holy cow.
Which is bigger than the original movie opened. And I think they said it made 35 million worldwide. So like almost $150 million. That's a lot of money for Beetlejuice. Because I like the original Beetlejuice, but I wouldn't be pushed to go see it in the movie theater. But yeah, I'm not in the majority apparently.
I'm not a humongous fan of this movie, but my wife is. I don't like Tim Burton, to be honest with you. I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. So this movie does nothing for me. But my wife is big into this movie.
She's a big Tim Burton fan, isn't she? She loves
she loves Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
She loves Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands. Seinfeld reference. See? We just did it again.
I'm gonna be Bob for Halloween.
Are you?
Yeah. This the shrunken head guy.
Yeah, the shrunken head, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my wife is very excited for this movie.
Yeah, I think if you're like a Tim Burton fan, like this is right, and people love him, like love his stuff.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, they did it right. Like they made it like the first movie. They didn't try to change it and make it for a modern audience. You know,
well, that could explain why it made money.
Yeah.
Right. Like it seems to be like when they want to reinvent them, the new people are not drawn to it, and the people who've seen it, like, this isn't what I'm used to. So why would I want to see this? And like, I seem like when they're kind of true to what it was, I go, oh, I want to show this to my kids, and I want to re-experience that feeling. But it's when they reinvent them or like give them a modern spin. I'm like, just kick rocks. I have no time for it.
Yeah.
Another movie being remade, Happy Gilmore 2. They just started production today.
Was that the golf one?
Yes.
Yeah. That was the first one, right? Or was Billy Madison before that?
I don't remember. They were the first two to make. He did stuff before that, like Cabin Boy, I think, and stuff before that. But those are the two that kind of blew him up, or at least blew him up in our circles.
Yeah.
That
was him becoming a movie star.
Yeah, he tweeted.
He was a big star on SNL, and then once those came out, that's when he left the show.
I loved that's one of the ones I showed my kids, Happy Gilmore, and they loved it. They thought it was so great. He posted on Instagram today the picture of the jersey, the Brewers jersey, I think it was, and it said, "It ain't over. The way I see it, we've only just begun," which is the quote from the first movie.
Speaking of quotes, you used to quote Billy Madison all the time when we were in high school.
I still do it.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
If I see a swan, I can't not do it, no matter where I am and who I'm with.
I think you did it on your wedding day.
And and I can't tell you how many times I've walked up to someone pregnant and been like, "Dude, them kicks gonna be a soccer player." Like, I loved those movies. Then they're so stupid. Oh, and Jesus, the end of Billy Madison. Nowhere in those incoherent ramblings did you come anywhere close to a coherent thought. May God have mercy on your soul. Everyone in this room was dumber for having listened to it.
I say that every time at work was when a manager says something stupid at the end of when everybody's walking away. I'm like, everybody is now dumber for listening to that stupid. Well,
may God have mercy on your soul. Oh, such a good line. I'm excited to see it. I don't think he's made a good movie in quite some time, but I would be interested. Not a good comedy, right? I think like Uncut Gems was amazing.
Yeah.
What has he made since? Has he made anything since?
As far as like Netflix, straight Netflix
stuff. And I have a friend, Josie, who hates these movies, but I love the grown-up movies.
Oh, I hate them so much. I hate them so much.
So bad.
I like grown-ups. I like the original grown-ups.
If it's on, I'm watching it.
It's not good.
I like it.
I don't care. It's just stupid dumbness, but I like the one with I like the one where Kevin James is the biology teacher with Selma Hayek. I think that has to be a Adam
It's probably
Sandler
Happy
movie, right?
Madison, yeah.
Dude,
Grown-ups just feels like you're watching people have more fun than the audience. Like, clearly when they're making it, they had which is great. Like, we could make a movie. Yes, I would definitely make a movie, and screw whoever's watching it. That's your problem. But God, it's just they are having so much more fun than you.
And I love it. I could watch those movies. I could just see how much fun I could. That's us.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I guess like I'm trying to bring up his IMDb of what he's done recently, but his early stuff is great. The new stuff,
Waterboy was good.
Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, The Waterboy, Big Daddy, Little Nicky. Those are all great. His company produced Joe Dirt. I didn't even know that. But then it gets Mr. Deeds is okay. But recently he's had some real rough ones.
Did he do Click? Click was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't see
that. Was
that
all right.
The murder mystery ones on Netflix with him and Jennifer Aniston, where like they're the schlubby couple that gets tied up in European murder mysteries. Those aren't good. The Wrong Missy.
There was
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one's okay.
Yeah,
He plays like a version of a Waterboy guy.
Yeah, Pixels. That was bad.
Pixels.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah,
it was all right. It was fine.
Blended.
That I never seen.
Oh, that's the one when they go to like a African resort. Yeah.
That one. The ex-wife.
I've seen that one. That one's okay. It has some moments.
The early stuff so much better. Like in my opinion, his early stuff so much better. But
I love.
Are we doing? How we wasting time?
We are, but you forgot something.
I got more stuff.
Oh, you do? Okay. What else you got?
I'm sorry. I have just two more. I sent the Joker trailer. Did you guys watch it?
Nope.
No.
Seeing the Joker 2.
You're not interested?
No, I didn't like the first one.
I'm more interested in seeing a Batman 2 with the
I would agree
guy.
with that.
Yeah.
The last Batman was okay. I thought it was way too long.
Yeah, way too long. And if you took Catwoman out of it and just made it a Riddler movie, I thought that would have been amazing.
It also when he beat the Riddler, it should have ended, and then they went, "Let's do 30 more minutes."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It was way too long. But he was a cool Robert Pattinson. He was a cool Batman.
Yeah, he was a little emo as Bruce Wayne, but
the outfit was cool. Gotham was cool.
Yes.
The car was cool.
Batmobile was cool. The motorcycle was cool. Everything was cool.
Yeah, the action looked good.
The only thing not good was the length of it, and the Catwoman story wasn't needed. You could have saved that for another movie.
The score was very good too.
Are they doing another one? Like
great.
I haven't heard about a villain
they're in the writing room now. They're finalizing the script. One thing that
and the Penguin is coming out too soon.
That trailer came out today too.
Oh, really?
The Penguin HBO series, I think.
Yeah.
I sold a lot of clothes and shoes for the production of that show at my job, so I'm really excited to see that. That's
really
What kind of shoes? Like any were there specific type of shoes?
Yeah, like for what's his name?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell for his character and other characters in the movie and in the show rather. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think that whole world, that whole universe that they created in that first Batman movie, it's believable and not too over the top. You say that?
I mean script.
It's cool. It's cool. It's dark.
There was a bit of coincidental stuff in that script, right? Like how he just realized from a carpeting tool that there's a giant puzzle under the carpet of the apartment, right?
Yeah, well, that's Batman. He's the greatest detective in the world.
Yeah, but it wasn't no great detective. Like, I would love to see more of that.
That's how all TV is now, though.
Yeah,
like, have you watched the new Lord of the Rings? The Rings of Power?
I have that in my wasting time.
I
hate you. I almost ended our friendship over you asking me to watch that show.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And also in that Batman, like, one of the riddles, like whenever he comes out into the light and he happens to assassinate him as like he walks out under a street light, and like what are the odds they would walk him out under that exact street light? But that coincidental stuff, that's just, I think it's lazy writing or bad writing.
Yeah, but Mike, you're the only person I know that ever sees these little coincidental and like stuff like that.
Because I'm not a moron. Like, just
most of us are.
That stuff bothers me too, especially in stuff that I really like. Like I can overlook it in things that I don't know the lore about or that I'm not interested in. But like in Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff happens all the time.
It's just they always happen to run into the exact person they need or find the exact thing they needed or the exact way something has to happen. It just happens. Like spend a little bit of time writing your script. Like I don't think they're giving anybody.
And it was already a half an hour too long. So what do you want it to be? 4 hours?
You tighten your script up.
Right.
Like make it 90 minutes, make it tight. Every movie does not need to be 3 hours.
No, you're right.
They don't even Deadpool. I felt Deadpool was too long, which
I
really liked. Way too long.
Yeah.
All I wanted was fight scenes. Like there's no story in that movie. The story is unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
Just give me fight scenes then.
There's no reason for him even to be in that situation. Like I don't even want to get into that because that's another topic. Like the bad guy, what was his name? Enigma? What was his name?
Yeah,
Paradox.
yeah.
Paradox takes him out of a timeline that he wants to destroy quicker. Right, the timeline's going to end, but he wants to destroy the timeline quicker, so he takes Deadpool out of it. But he why did he have to do that? He could have let Deadpool stay in the. He had the machine already. He already had the machine that was going to destroy the timeline. Why would he do anything with Deadpool?
I don't know.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, just to make the story happen, and like I don't like when they do that, just to make the story happen. But and I something that popped up that I thought I didn't know if you guys would be interested. Do you know Macaulay Culkin is touring Home Alone this holiday season?
What's that mean? Touring?
He's coming to like 20 cities. They're renting out a theater, but not like a movie theater, like a music theater.
Radio.
And they're gonna, something like that, and they're gonna screen it, and then he's gonna watch it with you, and then do Q&A after it.
Wow,
20 different cities.
How much is that going to cost
you?
They weren't crazy. I think they were less than $100, depending on the city.
Oh wow!
Oh, I would do that.
I thought it was
He's pimping himself out.
Get that money.
Be desperate for money.
Desperate for money.
Holy shit!
Desperate for money.
Wow. Yeah. What did he blow it all on? What's his drug of choice? Yeah,
you
right.
So?
Blow.
Yeah, maybe straighten himself out now.
I'm gonna go watch movies with normal people for $100 a ticket. That seems weird to me. I mean, really cool if it's legit and he's just doing it because he wants to have fun. That's amazing.
It's called A Nostalgic Night with Macaulay Culkin, and he's doing Home Alone. Yeah, right around the holidays, like November and end of November, early December.
And he'll hit you with shovels and burn your hands, and he'll do all types of
micro machines on the aisles.
You have to
he ices the floor when you walk in. You just slide down
all the doorknobs are burning hot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So did I miss a story? You said I missed the news story?
You did, and I can't believe it. I'm going to put it on the screen right now. I can't believe you didn't bring this up.
This is why Joe does the news.
Yeah.
Oh, because this is so sad for me.
Yeah.
This is so sad for me.
Yeah. So for those of you who are unaware, one of our favorite franchises, IPs of all time is the Grand Tour, or AKA Top Gear.
Top Gear
from the UK, and not the current day Top Gear, like old school first 20 years Top Gear, with three of the bestest friends in the world who you just got to watch them be friends for 25 years. And this is something I think all of us try to emulate in these podcasts that we do, is to show you how good of friends we are, and to just have fun and invite you into our friendship. And that's what the Grand Tour did for 20 years. It's Richard Hammond, it's James Clarkson, and
James May,
and Jeremy Clarkson. Three guys who were genuine friends with each other that went on adventures with something they loved. They love cars. They love the world of cars. And they figured out a way to make a TV show out of their friendship. And that is my dream job. If I won the lottery and I could do whatever I want, the first thing I would do is buy 3 old cars. And I would have 4 old cars. I'd buy 4 old cars, and I would have them shipped to my 3 best friends, Sebi, Joe, and Mike. And I would say, meet me in Albuquerque. Or whatever. I would fly them out. I would do something.
I knew I should have made that left at Albuquerque.
Yeah. And we would just, or you know what I would do? I would drive the truck carrying the 3 other trucks, so the 4 other trucks in it. You know, the big trucks.
Oh yeah,
I would have the 4 trucks on the back, and we would show up to one of Mike's barbecues, because Mike throws these big barbecue parties. And I would show up there, and I would tell everyone else at the barbecue to go F off. And I'm taking so Mike, Seb, and Joe.
I get divorced.
No, I would let your wife know. I would tell my wife to tell your wife, that this is what happened. My wife, that this is what's happening. And I would say, okay, everybody, and I would hand you a letter, just like they did in the show,
where we're going,
and it would tell you what the boss is going to make us do, and we would have to drive cross country.
For my wasting time, that's what I've been spending time doing, is rewatching some of my favorite Top Gears, because my little one got into watching Clarkson's Farm. with me, and then she started was like, "Can we watch Top Gears?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can watch Top Gears." So I've been going back. God, you are really living vicariously through them. Like this is the kind of job that I think anyone who really has some good friends would want to do. Just being entertaining, sharing these really cool experiences with your buddies, but just kind of hanging out. And now the show became more scripted as they've gotten older, but like some of those early ones where they're just doing the shit we would do to one another, right? Like crazy glue the radio fully on and turn to just
one of my
really fun
favorites
stuff.
Is when they go down south. And
Hillary Clinton on the side of the car.
Yeah, I'm voting for Hillary.
Love.
My God. And they got chased out of like a gas station by a bunch of
They got chased out of a gas station in southern Alabama.
Yeah.
Or it was Mississippi or Alabama, one of those two. But
and just like stuff we've done, like when they buy each other the big obnoxious gifts, like we've done stuff like that, bought each other embarrassing stuff just so someone else has to deal with it. I will genuinely shed a tear watching this if I had to guess.
When does this
the trailer almost got me.
Joe and I were Joe came down to visit me last week. This is part of my wasting time, but Joe came down to visit me. And one of the things that we did was listen to the shows that I found, the old podcast shows that we found. And one of the patron episodes. Yeah, we used to have patrons. Imagine that. People used to pay us on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis, people would pay us very small amounts of money. Yeah. But it was the story about Sebby's wife putting where would you fly? Sebby's wife used to work for like a marketing company. and like I think she was working for LaGuardia Airline or LaGuardia Airport.
Yeah.
And she was in charge of the Instagram for this company. And she like put a scene of like a beach or something and said, where would you want to go on your next trip? And I was the first person to see this at like 9 a.m. And I commented Pound Town. And 5 seconds after I did it, I get a text message from Mike that was like, oh boy. Me and Joe were crying on the couch listening to this story, and I have the full recording. So if we ever get patrons again, I will re-release these stories.
I completely see, and like that's the cool part about Top Gear. They have all these things recorded because I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, Mike, I wrote Pound Town and he got in so much trouble. She texted Sebby and was like, why the hell would he say that? Do I call his job and say stupid things to his boss?
No, he does it himself and always gets fired.
And Mike, I remember you saying, like, why does she think it was a good idea to post this to his friends? And she's met us before. She should know
That's
better.
always been my thing. Yeah.
Mike was blaming her.
Yeah.
I got my boys back.
So funny. Oh my god, dude. It was
I remember texting you like why did you do that?
I don't know why I do anything I do.
And then Mike, and then you were like, and then Steve doubles down. I forget what you said, but you were definitely into the conversation. It wasn't like you weren't answering those texts. You were in that text thread.
I'm sure. I just don't remember it.
And then you were on oh dude, me and Joe were crying. We were crying. We were on the couch crying.
Yeah, I talked to you, Steve, on the phone like around the same time Joe was down there.
Yeah, like 5 minutes before that. That's what made us turn it on. Yeah. That's what made us turn on, because you called me and described another patron episode.
Oh my God. Mike, this was one of my favorite nights of all time. Is the night when we were recording the patron episode. And
I think I know the one you're talking about.
The ice cream bowl.
I leaned
back.
Where
Joe's dad walked down the stairs. Yes. we were younger. We used to record in our buddy Joe's basement.
We weren't that young. Like Joe was living at home.
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we were like 30. Going in Joe's basement.
Like 30.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
and I leaned back because Steve was about to tell a story, and earlier tonight, Steve's looking at a yoga magazine, and he said some vulgar shit, and Joe's dad happened to be in the room or something like, or walked in.
He agreed with me.
Anyway,
yeah, but not in his house with his wife there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh my god, we gotta release those again. Those were so.
I just remember that, like you telling me that you had offended him, and then he happens to walk back down the stairs as we're doing the same nonsense.
Yeah.
No, I was checking to make sure he wasn't coming down the stairs, and then you were like, "Oh my god, that's so inside baseball."
Oh, that's right, inside baseball. Oh man, but
yeah,
all
right,
let's
like a job where you could have those experiences and then just put them out as your career. Come on, like what a dream.
For your entire life, like for your entire life.
Yeah,
and like he got fired from his job, and the other two followed him. Like that's how close they were. You know, like he got fired. He could have gotten replaced on Top Gear. He got fired from Top Gear because I think he slapped the producer.
I think he had to apologize or something. Say he was wrong. He could have gotten his job back, and he said he wasn't going to do it. And then they said, "Fuck it, we're not doing it either."
I don't think any one of them really works without the other two.
Well, they have like solo gigs. They do.
But none of it does a lot of stuff.
And it's all fine. I don't think any of it engenders as much love as Top Gear. Yeah. Like the Top Gear trips where they would go on long trips, I will put on in the background the way people put on The Office and like Seinfeld. You know, I'll just put it on and stop and like, oh, this is when they do the driving test. Oh, this is when they like. I just love some of it. It's me fantasizing about a world I wish I could have lived in.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was one thing I thought you would have brought up, but I'm glad we did. It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
The trailer they did, they call it One for the Road, and I forget what they playing in the background. Whatever song they're playing in the background is like crushing. It's just crushing. This is the last song that the last thing that they're gonna. It's so sad. Yeah. And they dissolved their company. I've been reading all the articles. Like they were like, we wanted to go out our way. We got to go out on our own terms. I get that, right? I get that. Before we got too old, before we got too messed up, we went out on our own terms. Yeah, which I get.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the news segment. Then